One of the important jobs you have as a keeper in Call of Cthulhu, and in fact a responsibility running the game that's particular and particularly focused for Call of Cthulhu, is the requirement to create a sense of immersion and mood and emotional and visceral engagement for the players. And Sirenscape can help you do it, which is why I'm here talking about it. What we want to achieve as a keeper is investment from the players in the story and the experiences and things that are happening to the characters. So even a sound as mundane and normal as this Streets of Nairobi will help to snare the players into the story and to feel like they're a part of what's happening, so that later, when you sour the audio environment and the tale you're telling, they're affected more completely, involuntarily, viscerally, becoming uncomfortable and feeling exposed and in danger. 50% of what a movie is music, said a rather famous film director who made some reasonably good films. And Sirenscape is something that I've been passionate about for ages that can really, really help with this. So, here's a demo of some of the moods in our Masks of Nyarlathotep, Chapter 5, set in Kenya. So, as I said, here's this daytime. As the story approaches the evening, you can just do this single touch. Now the effect of that, for me, is to create a focusing in of the oral landscape for the players. What was expansive and busy has now become sort of more focused, more private. It's almost like you've turned down the lighting. And surely that's got to help the imagination of the players. Sirenscape has chosen to have a passing singing crowd. Now the players really know we're not in Kansas anymore. Now if I trigger on top of that something like this building collapse one shot, let's make it nice and loud and fade me out of the way. This one here can be quite dramatic. Excellent. I'm sure I don't have to convince you how dramatic that can be with a little bit of a boost in volume. Alright, now let's go into the cellar and see what happens when we just up the ante a little bit. We've taken away a lot of those human sounds. We've focused the audio environment down further and added some pretty disturbing sounds. The basic insect thrum is there still, so we still know where we are. But there's a number of different elements that are really making us feel quite uncomfortable. What's nice too is just as the action happens, say one of the players announces they're going to try and pick a lock. As they roll, just touch. Doesn't have to be obvious, doesn't have to be a big feature, but once again we're trying to snare the player and help them to feel like there's a reality and a connection between what they're hearing and what's going on in the drama. Like searching through a drawer. So cool. Okay, let's now go a little more exotic. One thing that really disturbs us people who live in cities with our cars and microwaves and insurances and things is the sense of the exotic. Fantastic music written here by Joe McCullough, especially for this adventure. We really, once again, we're pushed further out into the wilderness, out into the wild, where anything is possible. Let's go to the dead elephants mood. Those tribal drums in the distance really help to create that sense of foreboding that we naturally feel when we're out of context, out of the normal environment that we control. And of course the buzzing of flies indicating decay and rotting. Alright, let's up the ante again. The rat pit. Now there's a whole host of sounds that create discomfort in the players. Obviously the characters are in the story and we're trying to roleplay the discomfort of those characters. But anything you can do to actually help the players become immersed in the game will help the effectiveness of your keeping. Occasional touch of a horror hit to punctuate a dramatic moment. Excellent. Occasional thunderclap. Is always helpful. Right, one more mood. I'm not going to go all the way to the end. I'm just going to go Summoning Begins. Once more, awesome music specifically written by Joe McCullough. Highlights and emphasizes the beautiful sound design by Steve Barr. Once again, we can trigger. So if you jump back in this video and then listen to some of those earlier moods, which were fairly humane, normal, understandable, and as we sequence through in this adventure to where things become more and more hideous, more and more perverted, more and more gone, and these last four moods are extraordinary too. So I hope that makes sense. You can obviously buy this 5th part of the Masks of Nyarlathotep Adventure on the Sirenscape store, or of course it's unlocked for all sci-fi subscribers and all Super Siren subscribers as well, who, if they are currently subscribers when this content came out, have now gained permanent ownership of it as well, and will be in a permanent library forevermore. Awesome. I hope you enjoy it. Hope you enjoy playing this game, and spread the word about the fact that there's these awesome things we've built with Chaosium to enhance the Call of Cthulhu adventures that they make. Excellent. I think I need one more spawn roar, a hibaceous scream, and a horror hit. Excellent. See you later.